A grinder that for years has been a staple in new home brewers' setups gets an update that many users will consider game-changing. Hi there, Brian here with Whole Latte Love, and the new Baratza Encore ESP is a grinder to get excited about. For my early years working in specialty coffee, the Encore was always the go-to response for someone looking for a capable, appliance-grade, entry-level grinder. With the Encore ESP, you have the same grind consistency owners have come to love, but now with an increased emphasis on dialing in for espresso. In this video, I'll go over the features of the Encore ESP, general operation, retention, grinding speed, and grinding noise level tests, and finish up with the things it does well and maybe not so well. The Baratza Encore ESP shares a lot of the same features as the regular Encore grinder. They are almost exactly the same size and weight, with the Encore ESP having a slightly more streamlined, simple-bodied design with an updated on-off switch and front micro switch. The bean hopper holds approximately 230 grams or about half a pound of coffee. The hopper can also be swapped out for the optional Baratza Gear single dose hopper for single dosing enthusiasts. Accessing the grinding chamber for routine maintenance is simple and requires no tools. The grind size is adjustable in 40 stepped increments, and it is within these increments that the most noticeable upgrade to the grinder becomes apparent. Grind settings 40 to 21 correspond to coarse to medium grind sizes used when brewing a French press to a drip coffee. Grind settings 0 to 20 flatten the curve, and this entire high-resolution range can be used to fine-tune the subtle variations in espresso grind sizes. The Encore ESP utilizes a 40mm conical burr set made of M2 grade high-speed steel. The grinder comes with a standard 5-ounce grounds bin, but now also includes a 24-gram dosing cup. The dosing cup features a simple yet effective removable silicone ring that adjusts the diameter of the opening to fit into any size 53 to 58 millimeter portafilter. The dosing cup also comes with its own specialized removable base that positions it perfectly under the grounds chute. The grinder is mostly plastic and comes in black or white. No matter the coffee preparation, grinding with the Encore ESP is as easy as it's always been. Grind size is adjustable by rotating the hopper through the stepped increments and has a pleasant tactile click when doing so. This physically adjusts the distance of the top ring burr from the bottom cone burr by moving the cleats of the top burr plate through a set of spiraling grooves. As previously mentioned, grind sizes 0 through 20 are going to mostly be used for fine espresso grind sizes and 21 through 40 for filter and immersion brewing. This is achieved in the grinder by cleverly changing the pitch of the grooves in which the top ring burr is lowered onto the bottom cone burr. Grinding is as simple as adding beans and either pressing and holding the micro switch on the front of the grinder or flipping the on-off switch on the side. After a handful of grind cycles, the approximate amount should be able to be eyeballed for whatever the desired dose may be. Weigh the grounds output and adjust for the desired amount. I recommend always erring on the shorter side and adding more if needed to help reduce coffee waste. If using the dosing cup with a portafilter with a diameter from 53 to 56 millimeters, leave the adapter ring off, put your portafilter on top, shake, and flip. If using a 57 or 58 millimeter portafilter, the adapter ring, although not entirely necessary, is useful in providing a snugger fit when inserting it into the basket. When grinding for espresso, grounds are noticeably clumpy, so I would highly recommend using a whisk distributor before tamping. Although not something incredibly important when using the grinder with a hopper full of beans, grounds retention is a statistic that is vital in single-dose grinding. To test the retention on the Encore ESP, I repeatedly ground 10 grams of coffee on a fine grind size and averaged the output amounts. The grinder retained somewhere between 3 and 4/10 of a gram of coffee and spit out those retained grams every 4 to 5 grind cycles. Not a number that's really going to compete with any of today's single dosing grinders, but keep in mind the Encore ESP is an entry-level appliance-grade product. The Baratza Encore ESP features a 40mm conical burr set made of M2 grade high-speed steel. The bottom cone burr is spun at a no-load speed of 550 RPMs. The slower speed of the motor results in a lower temperature operation, which is ideal for longer grinding cycles. Even then, the grinder features an automatically resetting thermal cutoff to protect the motor from overheating, which is a nice added feature. With all that in mind, I tested the grinding speed at 3 grind sizes: 0, 20, and 40. When set at 0, on the Encore I tested, grounds were slightly finer than a usable espresso grind size and came out at a rate of 1 gram per second. Grounds at the 20 setting were closer to a particle size suitable for a drip coffee machine, maybe a little finer, and were produced at a rate of 1.9 grams per second. Finally, as coarse as it could go, at 40, grounds were produced at a rate of 2.6 grams per second. These numbers are fairly on par with other grinders at this price point and outperform previous Encore models. The Encore ESP is designed for low volume home use, and repeated back-to-back-to-back grinding does create inconsistencies in the overall grind time and retention. Also, conical burr grinders typically work best at medium to coarse grind sizes, while flat burr grinders are typically preferred for espresso grinding. The Encore ESP's high-torque DC motor and direct drive gearbox run at a lower RPM than most other espresso grinders. This was designed in part to help lower the operating noise level of the grinder. When testing the noise level on the grinder from 1 foot away, the grinder hit about 83 decibels while using the ground spin and went a little higher to 86 decibels when using the dosing cup. This slight difference is because the ground spin adds additional insulation from the chute, while using the dosing cup leaves it exposed. The Encore has always been a pretty loud grinder, and the ESP is no exception. In the box with the Baratza Encore ESP, you have the grinder, hopper and lid, ground spin, dosing cup with 58mm adapter ring and the dosing cup base, and a brush useful for cleaning the chute and the burrs. For anyone over the years that's loved their Encore but wished that it was a little better at grinding for espresso, Baratza was listening and delivered an effective solution in the Encore ESP. That said, with its relatively small conical burrs and general lack of declumping mechanism, while it's definitely capable of grinding for espresso, I still feel that it better performs at coarser grind sizes. With as slow as the grinding speed is, and the extra time needed to break up the clumps, grinding for espresso definitely takes time, and could be a make or break for some users. If down the road you go deeper into espresso, you may find yourself wanting to upgrade to an espresso-focused flat burr grinder that's faster, quieter, and not so clumpy. Even so, like all Baratza grinders, it's incredibly easy to use and offers a great new entry-level option for the burgeoning home barista. I personally like the addition of the dosing cup and the simplified updates to the housing. The grinder comes in black and white, and I've put links to each down in the description. If you have any questions about this grinder, use the comments and I'll get back with you. And if you want to stay on top of the latest and greatest in coffee, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Once again, I'm Brian. Thanks for watching, and check back soon for more of the best on everything coffee. Brought to you by Whole Latte Love.